Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have a tutorial for you on a Gatefold Box Card. It is an extended version of the box card itself, which I'll explain to you a little later in this video. As you can see, it's closed with a belly band, and when you slide that off, you open the card to reveal the box inside. It's really not difficult to do. It doesn't take a whole lot of materials, and you can make it whatever you like. It doesn't have to be a birthday card. It can be any sort of card for any occasion. And if you'd like to learn how to make one yourself, please stick with me and I'll show you how. All the pieces I'm going to need for this, and I'll get those measurements as I go along, starting first with the main card, which is a piece that is cut at 11 inches by 10 inches. And scoring here, starting on the long side, the 11-inch side, I'm going to score at 2.5, okay, at 4, at 7, and at 8.5. Then I'll turn it to the short side, which is the 10-inch side, and this I'll score at 1.5 and at 8.5. So this is our main base. Now there are two other marks we need to make. We're just going to make a mark. We're not going to actually make a score line at this time, but we're going to turn it to the 11-inch side, the long side again, and we're going to come down to 5.5 inches, and we're just going to make a little tick mark there. And if you prefer, you can just take your pencil and make a mark there, okay? And then I would just flip it over and do the same on the other side, so 5.5. Right, so there. Then taking it out of the scoreboard and just placing it on sort of a softer surface like this cutting mat here, I'm going to find my ruler and then I'm going to cut from this tick mark we made down to this score line here and down to this score line here. So we're going to make a triangle cut there. So I hope you can see that from here to here. Now if you like, you could just go ahead and draw in a line there if you like. That's easier. Or you could just take your bone folder and simply make a score line there. We're going to do the same on this side. Alright. And I'll flip it over and do that same thing here from this corner where that score mark is. So that's 2 score marks in, and score along there, and the same on this side. Right. And now we can do our folding and burnishing and cutting of this piece. Just to clarify something, I misspoke when I said we were going to cut from this triangle piece. We're actually just going to score there. So score on that side and on that side. So now we're going to cut, and we're going to make our cuts exactly the same on all 4 corners. And what we'll do is we're going to cut up this score line here. And we're going to go right past the first and stop at the second one, where this triangle piece is. Then remove the rectangle completely. And it's gone. And that's going to leave this flap here. We're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to come up the score line, past the first to the second, and then we'll remove this rectangle, so that will leave that square there. So you have this now, and we're going to do the same on the other side. And so you should have something that looks like this. Then I'm going to fold and burnish these score lines here. This is going to start to form the box portion. That, again over here. And then we have these as well. Okay. As you can see, it's starting to fold up into a box. Now, for this, what you want to do is kind of use your fingers or your bone folder, sort of make that triangle almost into a little house, as you can see here. And that's going to push in. Okay. Same on this side. You see, it just sort of naturally wants to form like so. So you've got these coming in. Now you have an option to either glue your ends here inside, these tabs inside, or you can actually put them on the outside as well. So it's up to you which you would prefer. And in this case, I think I am going to just go ahead and put them on to the inside. So what I want to do is put my glue here. So now I've got these squares. Like that. And we're going to have glue put on them and then attached to the side here. And what I can do, just to make sure that that's not getting caught on there, I can take a little wedge out of the end there. And the same on this side as well. So we'll just do that. Take our glue and place it on these squares. Need to get this going again. It's been sitting for a few days. Because I took a little break from my paper crafting and was making a quilt. So that's where my time has been spent, as well as just relaxing on the sofa. And we won't speak of the England match, will we? Okay, so so they did rather well to get to the finals. I'm very proud of them. So that's going to go there. And we'll repeat the same here and on the other side as well. And also, just be sure when you're matching these sides up that you get them as even as you can. So they're squared up there. And then that will help that triangle to fold in like so. Alright. So there's your little box. And we're going to cover that with some paper. So that will also help to secure that. Simply wanted a box card like so, in which you would have these pieces come together here. You could stop there and it would just, you could have it stand like that. But I'm going to turn this into a gatefold box card. So for that, I have these two pieces, which are cut at 3 by 7 inches. And on the 3-inch side, I'm going to score them at 1/2 inch. So score each of these pieces at 1/2 inch, and this is where we'll attach them to the main portion of the box. Fold and burnish these, and then this tab here is going to form the section that's going to get attached like so. Alright, just going to fold over, and I am going to actually put paper on the back of this as well, which we'll do in just a bit, but you could just leave it like that. So let's glue these into place. And they're done exactly the same. Just put your glue on this 1/2 inch tab. And nestle it in that fold there. And you can just turn it to the front. Put it flat and then take your bone folder and spread that glue out there like so. Right. Like that, and the same on this side. Now we have something that looks like this. When you fold it up, then those will meet in the middle, just like a normal gatefold card, and then it will be secured with a belly band. So I'm going to decorate the inside first, and I have for that these panels. Now you could have these same panels on the outside if you wanted. I've chosen something a little different, but in total you'll need 8 of these pieces. So they are cut at 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. So I'm going to place them here on the inside like this. Okay, and then I have more that are going to go into the middle. And again, you could have them matching, or you could have something contrasting like I'm going to add here. So let's get these glued down. To cover the box itself, I have these 3 pieces. This is going to go into the bottom. It's 3 by 7. Just check to see if you need to trim anything off of it, because you might, depending on how these turned out, but that looks fine. And then these are the side pieces, which are 1 1/2 by 7 inches. And I can see I might need to trim just a tiny bit off of the edge here. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Those have been trimmed down just so that they don't, you know, get caught up on the edge here as it folds in. For the outside or the back, I have these pieces. I've got a piece that I'm going to use for a sentiment, a message, you know, if I wanted to stamp something on here. But just to leave a message, I've got just a piece of white paper, which is cut at 2 3/4 by 6 3/4. Then I have for these two sections here, which will cover that join, I have these contrasting pieces, which again are cut at the same size as the panels inside, so 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. And then I have the mat and layers for the very front part of the gatefold, and these again are 2 1/4 by 6 3/4, and then the layer is going to be 2 inches by 6 1/2. So if you wanted to do the same again inside, those would be your measurements. So I'm going to first attach the layer to the mat, and then I'll place everything down. To decorate the inside, I have these pieces already prepared. I have this little happy birthday disc, which I'm going to place inside here, so that whatever you put inside here, when you take it out, it will reveal the little happy birthday. And then I've also just taken some strips of the main cardstock and glued down happy birthday, which is just cut out of some alphabet tiles, and a little bit of faux stitching on the side, and those are just going to go on the panels here. For a bit of whimsy, I thought I'd add one of these little stickers here, these happy emojis, and I think I'll take this one here. I'm just going to put that down there, and then that will sort of balance that out a bit as well. And just add a little bit of fun. So these are quite sticky, so to be sure I've got that in place before I press it down. And now I'm going to work on the front and the belly band, which is going to hold this card closed. Belly band I've cut at 12 by 2 inches. It doesn't have to be this exact size, just as long as it will wrap round the card, so it doesn't have to be the full 12 inches. It was just the bit that was left over from when I cut out the original card. And as always, I'm just going to just sort of wrap it round. I'm not going to score it because I want to make sure it's loose enough so that it will come off and not too tight as well. So that is going to be our belly band wrap. And for the topper that's going to go on the outside of that band, I've got this little piece, which was in my stash. All these little pieces were already in my stash, so I thought they would make a nice little topper for the belly band. So I've got that. I've got this 2-inch circle. So this is about 2 3/4. Yes, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And this little circle here is 2 inches in diameter. I'm going to put this down on here. Just put it in the center. I have these little cutouts of some more tools, the hammer and the screwdriver. And I'm going to just glue them to the front of this little piece here. And there is the completed card. And then when you slide the belly band off, of course, your card will open to reveal your box and then can stand erect on a shelf or a mantelpiece. And you have this compartment here that you can put little gifts in. And of course, if you wanted to just make it as a box card rather than as a gatefold box card, you would leave these panels off, and so it would look like so. And again, you would, of course, want to use a belly band to keep it secured. So thank you so much for joining me today for this video tutorial on the Gatefold Box Card. And I hope you will give it a try yourself on whether you make the gatefold version or indeed a more simplified box card. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, please, I invite you to do so today. And if you enjoyed this video, leave me a thumbs up and a comment below. All interactions with my channel ensure that YouTube takes a little more notice and recommends it to more people. So, as always, please stay safe and crafty hugs. Bye.